Hello and welcome to Angela's Busy Bees Garden and Homestead. Guys, if you're new to my channel, I am in Tennessee in Zone 7A, 7B. Because of all of the climate changes, we've shifted from being Zone 7A to 7B. But it is a sunny fall day. The temperature is about 40 some degrees, but at night it's been in the low 30s or the upper 20s. And so what I want to do today is I want to mulch around all of my trees that I have in containers. And as you can see here, this is my wood chip pile. I've been very blessed for the last several years to get free wood chips, and it has really helped on the homestead in filling at least one-third of the lower portion of my raised beds. And also, I also use it in some of my pots or containers in which I grow fruits and vegetables. And it helps to cut down on the cost of purchasing so much soil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this second bucket here. And I get these buckets from our local bakery, and they are $1 a bucket. But they're used for so many different purposes. Some of them I've grown food in, and others I've used to cut up, leafy greens or my comfrey and add water to it to serve as a fertilizer. But today I'm using these buckets to mulch around my fruit trees. So let's go. And over here, guys, I have my Belle of Georgia peach tree, and it's in a container. It has some buds on it, so I know it's still alive. So I'm just going to go on here. And add these wood chips to it. I don't want to cover the stem too much, but there we have it. And let's go over to another. I had wood chips in this planter also, if you get a little closer. I had wood chips in here, but as you can see, it's broken down and it's really low. So I'm just going to add more of these wood chips. And this is my plum tree. It put on 1 or 2 plums a couple of years ago, and since then it hasn't done anything, so I'm still hoping that it will produce something this year. I have another fruit tree. Oh, and guys, while we're here, here's another one of those benches that I found at Walgreens. I think I have a total of I have a total of 4 of them now, but it serves as a great sitting area here in the garden. As you can see, I could also put containers here if I wanted to, but like I've stated before, sometimes when you're working in the garden, it's just good to stop, get a little breath, and get back to it. But let's get the other container, and I'll mulch the other fruit tree that I have in this area. Okay, this is a methyl plum, and it's been dying back. You can see where I have removed some of the dead limbs. So I'm not sure if this is going to make it or not, but I'm going to go on and mulch around the tree. Okay. And then there are some areas here in the garden where I need more wood chips. Just going to go on and cover where you can see the cardboard. It took a lot for us to mulch these areas, so I want to maintain them as best I can to not have to continue repeating this work so much. Let's see. And by reducing a lot of the containers that I had in the garden, I'm able to maneuver a little bit better. As you see with this little wagon here, it's been easier for me to come in as opposed to when I have stuff everywhere. So I'm just going to cover this cardboard over here. And if I see any other area, I'll cover it as well. But another thing that I want to do today is I have some leaves in a black trash bag, and I have some compost that I want to add to my containers so that come spring they'll be ready to plant in. So let's go. So guys, I planted turnips in this container here, and none of them came up. But what I was doing here is using that method by Robbie, where she puts scraps of food scraps and eggshells and things like that into it, and then she sets another pot inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab some of these food scraps. Just like so. Come closer, please. I'm putting the food scraps in here, and then I'm going to put this pot on top, and that way when it rains it'll help to create like a compost tea in there, as well as the worms will be able to go into the holes of the second container and eat the food that's present and help to fertilize the soil. But in this trash bag also, I have some leaves that Ava and I gathered on my balcony. And so what I'm going to do is just cover all around just to protect the soil. And of course these leaves are going to break down as well. And hopefully I won't need so much soil come spring when I begin to plant in this bed. Now this past spring and summer I planted tomatoes in these containers all along here. And so after the tomatoes I planted some turnips, But this coming spring, summer, I'm going to plant my peppers in these containers. So on this one here, it looks like the turnips only grew on this side and nothing on this side. But I'm going to lift this container, and these are onion chives, and grab some more of this compost. And as you can see, I've got pineapples, eggshells, bread. I've been juicing, so there's also some beets, celery, and other things in here that are more grounded up. And I'm just going to place that back in there, and then just put some leaves and over here I grew peppers in this container last year. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a hole in the center. And I'm going to put the remaining food scraps in here. As a matter of fact, let me go get the shovel and I'll be right back. I'm not sure how much longer I'll be able to use this barrel, because as you can see, it's coming apart. But I'm going to pour these food scraps in this hole. Cover it over with the soil. And let me get my bag of leaves. And to make sure that these leaves stay in this container, I'm going to get my water hose and I'll water it, and that'll help it to stay within this container and not be blown away. And this is my container that I keep right off the kitchen. And that way I collect my kitchen scraps in here for composting or for placing them in the containers as I've shown you. And that way it's, when it gets full, I'm able to just carry this bucket and bring it out to the garden. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you all are safe and well and off to a wonderful 2024 growing season. God bless. Bye-bye.